Hello, and welcome to the Division III Committee Member Training Program. First and foremost, congratulations on being selected as a committee member, and thank you for your service. Because the NCAA is a membership association, you are filling a critical role in the governance process that will be both challenging and rewarding. As a new committee member, you'll be relied on to fulfill your committee's responsibilities for your entire appointment. Being on a committee, understanding your role, and managing the governance and legislative processes are not easy tasks. The next series of videos will help prepare you for this committee assignment and enable you to be the best possible committee member. This video series will focus on the Division III governance structure and will include an emphasis on the Division III philosophy, strategic positioning platform, mission, and strategic plan. Governance structure policies and procedures, finances and budget, and the Division III Identity Initiative. All of these items will be part of your committee service. The videos also will outline the legislative process so you will understand how a committee can recommend a legislative action item, the role of the Management and President's Councils, legal implications, the role of the staff liaisons, and how legislative changes align with the Division III philosophy. Additional details will be provided, including the structure and composition of committees, communication expectations and responsibilities, planning for committee calls and in-person meetings, understanding committee member expectations, and best practices to have a successful committee experience. There are many expectations and responsibilities that come with being a Division III committee member. You'll be expected to have a general understanding as well as keep up to date with the governance and legislative processes. You'll need to remember that you are representing the entire Division III membership and must try to refrain from only bringing your personal views to discussions and action items. While your personal experiences are important, understanding the division's needs and wants is paramount. The NCAA is a membership-driven organization, and you are its representative on your committee. During this training video, you will also receive tips on planning for committee calls and meetings, as well as overall best practices. While being a committee member is a lot of work, there are also many rewards. You will have an opportunity to develop professional relationships with important colleagues, champion your committee's work, and possibly implement new policies, procedures, or legislative changes for the betterment of Division III. We hope the ensuing videos will be informative and beneficial to you as a Division III committee member.
To be a good committee member, you need to have a solid and basic understanding of the overall NCAA governance structure, in addition to an understanding of our Division III specific governance process. An understanding of our governance structure will allow you to further your committee goals and objectives as your committee's actions impact Division III, and they may also impact association-wide committees. Understanding our governance process will help you fully participate and engage in your committee's business. Remember that your committee supports Division III, and therefore it assists in fulfilling the overall mission of the division. Let's start by looking at the association's governance structure. The top right of the chart lists the members of the NCAA Board of Governors. This body was formerly known as the Executive Committee. This committee, like all NCAA committees, is comprised of individuals who are in the membership, either at an NCAA institution or at a conference office. As the association's highest-ranking committee, the Board of Governors is primarily comprised of presidents and chancellors. It is known as an association-wide committee because it has representation from all three divisions. Division III is represented by the chair and vice chair of our President's Council, with both having voting rights, and the chair of our Management Council, who is a non-voting member of the Board of Governors. Some of the Board of Governors' responsibilities include final approval and oversight of the NCAA's budget, appointment of the NCAA president, and engagement and oversight in the association's strategic planning. All three divisions have direct reporting lines to the Board of Governors. For us in Division III, it is our President's Council that has a direct reporting line. Our Management Council reports to our President's Council, and our Governance and Sports Committees report up to the Management Council. In Division III, the committee with the highest authority is our President's Council. There are 18 presidents and chancellors who serve on the council. The President's Council has the ultimate authority with budgeting and strategic planning for our division. Our Management Council consists of 22 individuals, with the majority of them being athletic directors. But the council also includes 2 presidents, 2 athletics direct reports, a faculty athletics representative, a senior woman administrator, and conference commissioners. In addition, our Management Council also has 2 representatives from the Division III Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and they have full voting rights. The Management Council ultimately reviews every action that comes from any Division III governance or sport committee. If the council doesn't endorse a particular action, it gets sent back to the originating committee. If the council has additional questions or needs further input, it will also send the action back to the originating committee, as well as possibly sending that on to other committees for their feedback. Lastly, if an action item is presidential in nature, for example, maybe it has a financial or a strategic planning impact, then our Management Council will forward that action item onto the President's Council for their review and possible approval. Later on in this training video, you're going to hear greater details regarding the legislative process. However, first you need to understand the timing and the process for all the action items. The Division III governance process has a unique flow. So it is important that you understand the timing of proposing action items or legislation through your committee. Since the Management Council reviews all the action items, it's important to note that the Management Council meets 4 times per year. They meet in April, July, October, and then again at convention in January. If your committee is considering proposing convention legislation, it is strongly recommended that the concept of the legislation be a part of your report for the April Management Council meeting. This timing will allow the Management Council an early opportunity to review and provide feedback. It will also allow the governance staff an opportunity to discuss the concept with the membership during the spring regional rules seminars or during spring conference meetings. The deadline for new governance-sponsored legislation is September 1st, so that is the ideal timing. However, understand that the overall deadline for new governance-sponsored legislation is September the 1st. So the final draft of proposed legislation needs to be written and submitted to the Management Council no later than early July to allow for review by both the Management and President's Councils. Once legislation is officially proposed, the governance staff will continue to educate the membership on your committee's proposal during the fall and leading up to the annual convention. So if your committee is proposing non-legislative action items, again, communication with the governance staff and other committees is still vitally important. Many times action items from one committee impact another committee. For example, an action item forwarded by a sport committee may impact another Division III committee, such as the Interpretations and Legislation Committee, or maybe the Playing and Practice Season Subcommittee. Or it might even impact an association-wide committee, such as the Committee on Women's Athletics. A notable example of this includes the creation of sand volleyball as a national collegiate championship. Prior to the membership vote, this decision was discussed by the Division III Women's Volleyball Committee, our Playing and Practice Season Subcommittee, the Management Council, the Division III President's Council, and the association-wide Committee on Women's Athletics.